Hello, good afternoon, or still good morning if you're in the central time zone or farther to the west of that for another. Oh, nope, now it's 1 o'clock. Anyway, hello, everybody. Welcome back to the cleaning streams. I haven't done this in a while. I had a lot of busy weekends, which is like my normal good streaming time is weekends. What have I been up to? The big one was over Memorial Day. Was I was in Chicago for a wedding. It wasn't mine or anything super exciting, but a family member's wedding. It was one of those like spend the whole weekend in the place types of weddings. I say Chicago. It was an hour north of Chicago, so not really in Chicago, but we still got to do some fun things. We still got to see family and hang out, so that was good. But I didn't get means I didn't get to stream. And then I also went to Korg's Con the weekend before that, which was a little video game vendor expo sort of thing, I guess you could say. So I did that and had a few pickups. Nothing too crazy. Nothing that I was like, oh, I've been trying to find this forever. But just a few, good cheap pickups. So I'll be showing off most of those today and cleaning them off. I suppose I can start with one because I already cleaned it and already played it, which is Dragon Warrior on NES. I picked that up for $7. It was a game I've always wanted to add to my collection just for the nostalgia of it. It's certainly not the best way to play Dragon Warrior or Dragon Quest One anymore. But for $7, I was like, I just want it. I just want it on my shelf. I want to be able to say I have it. I'm currently actually playing that on Game Boy Color, sort of. I'm playing it on my Super Nintendo Classic, so I can play it on a big screen TV. But yeah, my wife and I are playing Dragon Warrior 1, the Game Boy Color version of it. Boy, that game has a lot of grinding to it, and a lot of obscure information where not really sure where to go, not really sure where those towns are. The Game Boy Color doesn't make it any easier because it's even more smaller world map, so you can only see, I don't know, maybe 16 squares or something when you're walking around. It's not great. Linkum, welcome on in. How's it going? Dragon Warrior is still fun, even if it feels like a prototype of future Dragon Quest games. Yeah, and I think that's honestly why we're playing it, my wife and I. She was really curious about the history of Final Fantasy games and Dragon Warrior, Dragon Quest games. So when I got my Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster that came in from PlayAsia, she was really excited to start the series from the beginning, see how it goes. So then, as soon as we finished Final Fantasy 1, I thought she'd be like, let's go play Final Fantasy 2. This makes sense. Let's go do that. But instead, she was curious, what is Enix doing at this point? What are they doing? I've seen Squaresoft's version of a JRPG, but we've played Dragon Quest 11 in the last year or two. So she was kind of curious, well, where did Dragon Quest start? I was like, well, first of all, it's Dragon Warrior on the NES. So we started there, and so we've been playing that. I think she's having fun, but I'm honestly not even sure anymore. We're currently grinding up enough experience and gold to buy the magic armor and then go to wherever it is we're supposed to go. I don't know. I'm just excited I found a place to buy keys. That was a long time coming. So that's where we're at with that. That's what I've been up to besides just Tears of the Kingdom, Tears of War, if you will. Been collecting all the shrines, getting all the Korok seeds. I have a few small complaints. I have a lot of big praises, but I suppose I will save those for when I'm further along in the game. I'm currently don't want to assess too many thoughts till I get to the finish line on that, or at least closer to the finish line, to give it a fair shake. So that's what I've been up to. Now, what we're doing today is we are going to be cleaning some pickups. So start with this one. This is Avatar: The Last Airbender Into the Inferno. This is a DS exclusive. It says Darley on the back. So we're going to see if we can get that off today. As well as just clean those contacts. They look pretty okay. Let's see if we can get a good zoom in on there. Just a little grime. We'll see what we can do on there. So let's see, which way do I want to start? Let's start with the permanent marker on there. So looks like it's a blue permanent marker. So if I've got a blue, this isn't gonna reach. Hang on. Awesome. I've got a blue Expo marker. I would use that, but I can't seem to find it. But I got a black one. That should be fine. Also, I found my actual headphones in there. I spent like 10 minutes trying to find a pair of headphones to use today. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to need a paper towel. I'm going to need an Expo marker. We're just going to write right over this Darley and try to wipe it off, and hopefully that permanent marker will come right off. Meanwhile, I'm going to try to avoid that cave and OJ20 that's the product number, whatever, because that should stay there. So we'll see how this goes. Oh, this is already coming right off. This is perfect. This is looking great. By the way, everyone but my boss should know. Fun story. This Expo marker came from work. I had to go into. I have a pair of Expo markers, but they've all like dried up. But this Expo marker, I had to go into the office, and while I was there, I was bored, so I started going through old filing cabinets and stuff that were stocked from the before times, and I found a black Expo marker, and I was like, "Oh, I need that at home for my cleaning supplies." So, hopefully, everyone but my boss can enjoy that story. So it's already, yeah, let me go and show you this progress. It's already coming off pretty good there, but I just need to go over it a few more times to get off the rest of that last name. All right, how we doing so far? Is it gone? Did I already get it in just 2 attempts? I think I might have. Might have gotten it already. Let me just give that another wipe down, give it a close look with my own eyeballs. I'm gonna say that's good enough. Oh, I don't see it. There's a little bit kind of smearing on there. Suppose what I can do for that, I'm gonna give it just a tiny little spray of like a cleaner, an all-purpose cleaner. Try not to get it too wet. I just want a little bit here. And I'll just kind of wipe down the front and back with this real quick, just to get off any other residual Expo marker. Speaking of which, I'll put the cap on that before it dries out. And yeah, it does look like I'm picking up some sort of grime off the back of here. Again, trying to be careful not to get it on that product code. What we can do there. Yeah, it looks like that's pretty good. Cool. That's what it looks like now. A little less grease. You can still see maybe just a tiny bit of residual permanent marker if you're really looking for it, but it's certainly not very noticeable. Not something you'd see unless you were looking for it. Unless someone told you it was there. Alright, so now that we got the permanent marker off there, we're gonna just get a Q-tip, get some isopropyl alcohol, 91%, onto a little cotton swab. We're gonna wipe down the inside of this contact. Actually, you know what? Yeah, let's try this. A lot of times I'll find a toothbrush is better for a DS cartridge, but I can at least kind of get it started with this. Mostly like these ridges will prevent the Q-tip from getting in there. Yeah, I'm not really getting a whole lot there, so we'll save that for later. But instead, I'll use a good old toothbrush. You know, one of those extras you get from the dentist's office that you don't really need because you have an electric toothbrush at home, but you still don't want to say, no thanks, I don't need a toothbrush, I don't brush my teeth. So you just take it. So I'm going to use that. You saw me put a little drops of IPA on it, and I'm just going to kind of scrape across, back toward the center. Let's see how that's looking now. So yeah, those cartridges or those contacts look a lot better. Not perfect. Never. Our goal is never to get it perfect. We're never trying to get it like as good as new. That's too hard to do, or I might break other things while trying to do it. The goal is just to make it two things: one, look much better, and two, make sure it's playable. So that's the next step. We're gonna plug this into our DS and see if we can get it working. Wegaman, welcome on in. Cleaning stream. Hello. Welcome on in. Avatar Into the Inferno. Looks like it's going to boot up just fine. That's very exciting news for me. There we goes. Excited to throw that on the pile of the rest of my Avatar games. I think I'm still missing the second one, The Last Burning Earth, the DS version of the achievement hunting game for the Xbox 360. The one where you can get all 1000 gamer score in approximately 5 or 10 minutes. But the DS version is completely different. So different, it has Mickey Mouse in it. No, I'm just kidding. It's not that different, but it's a different game. So, next up on the cleaning stream is Cop the Recruit. You can barely see, but this had a lot of label damage when I got it. I didn't know it when I ordered it. You can barely see right here, but this whole thing had like flaked off. It was kind of folded over the wrong direction. So I just asked my wife, like, hey, do you have some good like paper glue stuff you can use that I could put on this to put that label back down and make it stick? And so she put some glue on there. It's been drying underneath the thing, so it's only a little wrinkly, but relatively good. Again, much better. It looks way better than it did. And then I'm just going to clean these contacts while we're here. Have I played through any of the Avatar games? No, but mostly because I would say I relatively just got them. I have not actually even watched any of Avatar. I just know it's on my list of things to do. You know how people are like, oh, you gotta watch X, Y, Z, you gotta watch a thing, and you're like, yeah, okay, one day, whatever. Well, I at least went the next step where I bought the series on DVD for like, I don't know, $20 or something. So I'm like, okay, now at some point I will watch Avatar, you know, when I'm out of video games to play, I guess. And, so I do have it, and I did want to go ahead and get the games because they're relatively good scores on them, reviews. So I thought I would get that and try it out. Ooh, looks like I am dropping some frames. Let me see if I can do anything about that. Nope, not really. Okay, hopefully that is just a one-time little blip. Hopefully we're okay. Sorry about that for those who were counting frames. Right, so we just clean that off. So yeah, so I want to get the Avatar game so that once I do watch the series, I have the show to be able to watch out there. So, yes, happy Father's Day to those who are dads. Oh, Cop Recruit's coming right in. That's good. So I got a really good deal on this game, probably because the label was kind of goofed up a bit. Looks like that's booting up just fine. So we will once again add that to the pile. Part of the reason I have such a big handheld collection, whether it's DS games or Game Boy Advance games, is every summer I go vacationing in Canada for a couple weeks. So that vacation is coming up soon. Oh, I don't want to clean that one yet. Yeah, I guess I will. So that vacation is coming up soon, and that's where I play most of my handhelds. I'll take a bunch of games with me to Canada because I don't have, at least I didn't have reliable electricity there. So portable games was really good. Didn't have much of a TV show or much of a TV or set up anything where I could plug in like my Switch or any of that kind of stuff. So next one is A Witch's Tale. Got a little bit of sticker residue up there. I can't tell what that is yet. So we're going to try a few different things to clean that off and see what it takes to get off here. Could be like a coffee stain, could be sticker. I don't know, we'll see. On the back we got a little bit of grime. Let's see how much. Yeah, that could use some cleaning. This is the second copy of this that I bought. The first one I bought, the seller was like, oh, I think my girlfriend threw away my game, sorry. I'm like, you're a garbage person. How dare you? And I'm like, of course you reply, you're like, no worries, thanks. But, so I bought another copy later on. This one actually was like $2 cheaper than the other one I bought, so that's fun. So bank error in my favor, I guess. All right, so this is an NIS game, Nippon Ichi Software. So always excited to find weird, janky NIS RPGs when you can. Could be a seal keeping a witch contained in the cart. Well, I guess we'll find out. Okay, so my first step, I'm just gonna try just cleaner before I go to any other stronger chemicals than that, just to see if it's again like, is it just like a coffee stain or something? So real quick, just progress report. It looks like it's coming off. So I don't think this was sticker residue. I think this was like goo. This was like again like a coffee stain, something like that maybe. But it does look like I accidentally got a little bit under that DS logo. See that little kind of like grayish line up at the top? That's I think that's liquid that got underneath the label or absorbed in. But the good news is that spot, on the other hand, is pretty much gone. So that line will go away a little bit. It'll get a little bit gone as it dries out, but it's mostly going to show. I probably use a little bit too much cleaner, and it's seeped up underneath there. And then let's see what we can do here. Oh, we're going to need some fresh alcohol for that. Couple little drops there. Dab off the excess. And we'll just brush that across the cartridge. Looking way better already. Give a little more attention to that middle area. That's the part that was really, really bad. Okay, let's show you what that looks like now. A little better. Yeah, you can still see right about there. Still a little bad, the longer one. But I think it'll be good enough to play. But let's test that theory. Have I been hit by the heat wave that's been passing through this week? It's just starting for me. I looked at the weather report, and I think every day for the next 10 days is like between 82 and 86 degrees. It's like a straight line on the like expected weather highs. Uh-oh. I got a no DS card inserted error message. All right. That does sometimes happen. Sometimes it's nothing. Sometimes you just need to put it back in there again. Sometimes it's still a little wet when you put it in there. Or sometimes it's something worse. So let's just try reseating it. See if that's enough for it. Uh-oh. Still no card inserted. Let's try one more time. Been in the 90s everywhere, every day where you're at. That is miserable. Hey, there we go. All right, so after reseat number 3, a witch's tail is now in there. But since I'm going to Canada here in a couple weeks, I'm very excited to probably not get 90-degree weather. It'll be much cooler up there. It will be hard to leave once I get there. I'll just be like, I'm just gonna stay. I'm just gonna stay right here. I don't need to go anywhere. Oh, it's a touchscreen game. Oh, look at that gorgeous title screen. Just gorgeous. Doesn't that look like something you want to pick up from a garbage bin? Heck yeah. There you go. All right, someone put about 20 hours into this game, I think. Wow, that one's from 2040. A time traveler. Maybe that's what that goo was in the corner. Maybe it was like a time skip goo. Maybe that's what it was. Ooh, Sprite has played and finished A Witch's Tale. There you go. I'm not saying it's going to be the best DS game I've ever bought or ever played, but I got it for about 20 bucks, and it goes for about double that. So I was happy to add that in there. Cherish that good weather blink. Next one up is a 3DS game, Conception 2, Children of the Seven Stars. This game was also on Vita, but of course I can't find any Vita games anywhere near me that are anywhere costing less than $60 a game. So, but I did get this one way cheaper than I thought I would. It was one of those things where like you were watching, like the seller had 3 other games or 2 other games I was kind of interested in. And you look through to see like what other games are you selling. And I saw this one listed for really cheap. It was an auction. And I just said, I'll watch it. And then when that auction was ending, I looked at it again and said, that's pretty cheap. And then just put like a max bid of like, I don't know, I think I put like $12.50 or something on it, maybe $15, and ended up winning the auction for way less than I thought I would. So this is a game that I could have bought digitally on sale and chose not to because I had bought so many other games at the Atlas games at the same time. So yeah. By the way, I keep my Nintendo 3DS in this Fire Emblem Fates special edition bag that it came with it that I'm sure would sell for $50 by itself now, and I just use it as like a DS sock. Oh, what do I have in here right now? Oh, Cold Step Revolt. I forgot about that. I haven't been playing that since the eShop went down. This one didn't need much cleaning, thankfully. I just wanted to double check it on stream, turn it on for everybody, give it a good look-sees. My 3DS takes forever to power on before because I have like a 256 gigabyte memory card in here, and it's completely full of all of these games and apps. I bought all the things on the 3DS shop closing day too, so yeah, it's bad. You literally put your Vita in a sock. I actually have a new case for my Vita. It's a I found at a GameStop sort of store. No, it wasn't GameStop. It was another used game store. They had one of those like big bins of used accessories, you know, that are always like $5. I found a Nintendo Switch Lite case that was marked down to $5. I don't have a Nintendo Switch Lite, but my Vita lives in there now, and it fits pretty well. There's like a little bit of a gap at the top where like you can slide back and forth a little bit, but in general it fits pretty darn well for a system that didn't have a lot of good accessories for it. All right, Conception 2 looks like it's going pretty good here. Load a game. It saves on the cartridge, okay, and we've got Chapter 3. Someone did not get as very far into this game as some of the others, I think. Well, oh no, wait, this is, sorry, level 23. Just kidding, that's 20 hours. The game just is very long, I'm sure. All right, so that one works. Happy to see that. Oh, you probably want me to do like a system update or something, don't you? Oh no, I can change my theme? That's exciting. I was wondering what that red dot was. Anyway. What other theme shop stuff do you have? The store is down. What are you going to sell for me? While that's booting up, I'll start getting out the next one. Daredevil for Game Boy Advance. Another one of those pretty mediocre to good action games. It was $10. And again, like, yep, throw that in. You guys have new themes? Really? I don't believe you. This one, you probably won't be able to see it, but we can try. Here. A little bit of grime on the inside cartridges there, but not too bad. Looks pretty good. Oh my goodness, there's actually new themes? Are you serious? There's no way. There's no way you're going to let me download this. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, for this Daredevil, I'm going to use some just IPA, some of that alcohol. Yeah, I didn't think so. Oh no, I have to do a system update. Oh no! Stabilize it. We need more stability. It's too unstable. Stabilize that 3DS pronto! I know it's 2023, but the time to stabilize is now. Ew, we got some color off of there. That's kind of gross. Is it in internet settings or other settings? I think it's in other settings. Page 3, page 4, page 5, system update. There we go. Let's do that while we're at it. Yes, I agree. That's me. An 18-year-old. Plug in power for this 2-second update. Stability. Stabilize that 3DS system. Prevent certain methods of hacking your 3DS. Yeah, that's it. Quite rude. Leave the people alone. I completely agree. That said, I'm pretty sure I heard they found a workaround for this new update within like 18 hours or something. They're like, all right, we found a workaround. It's back to as easy to hack as ever. So meanwhile, let's try out Daredevil over here while we watch the Nintendo 3DS update. Looks like we're good on Daredevil as well. I still have not hacked my 3DS. I don't think I'm going to hack this one. This is like my original childhood one. But I do have a 2DS XL that I bought off eBay, 2.5 years ago or something like that. Right before it was like kind of too late, but not at the best time. But I did get one of those off eBay. And that one I plan on hacking. So I'm going to have a hacked 2DS and a regular 3DS is my plan. 2DS XL, that is, not the child-proof giant rectangle, but the other smaller one. Ooh, Daredevil's working. Oh, look at that! Look at them good cutscenes on Game Boy Advance. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh yeah, that's some good times right there. Punch that guy in the face. Oh yeah, we got some real double dragon actions here. Oh, crack! Okay, that was good. It works. Glad to see it. Also, our 3DS is much more stable now. It is as stable as you could possibly ask for. Exciting to see that. All right, I'll put that and the sock to the side for now. Okay, so that is... Oh, actually, let me put my Cold Step Revolt back in there so I don't forget. That over there, that game works. Put Cold Step Revolt back in. Put that to the side. Put Daredevil next. All right, next up is some Nintendo 64 games. Let's start with at the convention that I was at 2 or 3 weeks ago, Korg's Con. We picked up Rush 2 for $10. So pretty excited to get that. Now that said, this game needs some Chad Garvin attention. It's got some old Blockbuster residue on there that I'm sure someone tried to peel off, but now there's just stuck goo on it. It's pretty dirty. Got some stickers. So if you come here for the cleaning streams, this is the part you come here for. We're gonna get in on this guy. So once again, this is the before shots. Got a sticker. It's got some Blockbuster rental case things. Oh, here we go. Let's get in on these contacts. They're kind of brown. Not great. Tops, I'm not going to be able to do much about the discoloration, but we can at least get the color off, so. How are we addressing this back plate? Good question. So there's a couple options. With Nintendo 64 games, you can open them up with the little screwdriver and take off that shielding and then clean it like you would like an NES game or something like that, and then put the shielding back on. But there's a lot more steps involved than an NES. Usually what I do for Nintendo 64 games is I'll just stick a Q-tip inside there and do scrubbing, see if that's good enough. And if it's not good enough, then I'll go back, open it up, and do even more thorough cleaning. That's usually my method. But if anyone has any disagreements or issues with that, feel free to give me your suggestions, and we can mess with that and do something else if you like. You miss old Midway arcade racers. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. I mean, well, I guess the eShop, thanks to like the Nintendo eShop, there's a lot of jank racers you can find for like $2 or less. So you can still kind of get your fix that way. But you're right. There's not a lot of like this game used to cost $60 arcade types of games. Not anymore. Even like 10 years ago, there was like Split Second, there was Test Drive Unlimited, there was Blur, there was like a whole bunch of stuff on the Xbox 360. But yeah, it feels like today there's just sort of Forza and like other like real simulated games, but there's not a lot of just like arcadey quarter munching types of games. All right, looks like I got a little piece off here. I gotta scrape still. Okay. How do I want to get started? So this is another spot right here. This is probably going to be Heptane's the best way to get this off. I could try Goo as well if it needs it. eShop jank is usually a little too jank for your tastes. That's fair. That's fair. Let's see. I guess I could try two different methods since there's kind of two different spots. We can compare and see how they both do. So let's do Heptane on this little curved area, and we'll do and we'll do Gugon on this backside, and we'll see which way it does better. All right, so I've got Heptane. Again, if you're not familiar with this, it's kind of like the stuff in like rubber cement cleaner stuff, rubber cement remover. I'm running low on it. I need to refill my little test tube bottle. Yeah, so we're gonna do Heptane right here and see if that gets anything off on itself. It's looking pretty good so far. Looking pretty good. It's like I'm ready for some more. This Heptane cleaner is really good for like plastics, really good for like vinyl cases. So like if you've got a, like a PS2 game with a sticker on it you just can't get off, that's Heptane's really good for that because it doesn't leave as many like permanent crazing marks as say like a Goo will or something like that, or even alcohol for that matter. Even it does better than evil isopropyl alcohol on that stuff. But on the other side, it's awful for paper. So if you've got if you've got a cardboard something with a sticker on it, Heptane is going to just eat away at that paper, and it's going to take the color right off of the printed artwork that's on there. So you don't want to use Heptane on paper, but it's great on plastics. Heptane is nuking that sticker residue. That's right. So it's like already gone. Already gone. So there's that, but just for funsies, let's do... I missed a spot. Just for funsies, let's try a little bit of Gugon on that one and see how that works. You know what? I'll even, just to keep our variables low, let's keep that with a Q-tip as well. Sorry, cotton swab. And see, what does it look like to put a cotton swab in Gugon? Tap off the excess as best I can. And put that right on here and see how that compares. So I would say it's doing okay. I'm certainly getting some stuff and color on this Q-tip, but it's not like removing this as well as the Heptane was. I think it would do it. If I just kind of keep going with the elbow grease, I think this is going to come off eventually. Yeah, it's coming off, just not as quickly or as fast as the Heptane did. And yeah, meanwhile, look at this guy. This guy's totally gross. yeah, it's coming off a little bit compared to some heptane. Well, I guess I need to refill that. But I feel like the heptane did a little better kind of removing it, than the Goo is doing. Feel free to make your own opinions. You got to see it. Which way do you like better? If you don't have heptane, I do think like the Goo will work, right? I just have to keep using it. But if you don't, yeah, so if you don't have heptane, it's not like a requirement. It's just perhaps a better job than the Goo would have been. Also trying to keep away from that gray label there as best I can. There it goes. Now it's really starting to come away. There we go. All right. So either method did work, to be fair. Both methods did seem to work. That was the Goo method. That was the heptane method. I do think the heptane method worked a little better. The Goo now it has this sort of wet residue that I kind of have to wipe off. Yeah, so I still have to remove some heptane. Or sorry, remove some Goo with my paper towel. But even when I'm all done, it looks about the same. It's a little bit shinier with the Goo where that was. It kind of left like a shiny residue. The heptane kind of cleaned off more, like, more clearly and more was on and off again faster. But they both worked. So if you only have Goo you can still get those stickers off. Now for the rest of this goo, I'm just gonna try just some regular old cleaner. I'm using Method All-Purpose Cleaner. It's kind of just what I happen to be using, and not quite as strong as some other cleaners, a little stronger than some other cleaners. It's kind of a good balance, I think. So I'm going to start with just some of these gross edges. Oh, let me put this cap on my Goo before I accidentally spill it all over my table. There we go. And this cleaner is best just to get, like, stored gunk off of, any sort of purchase that you're making. Yeah, I've got a whole bunch of color that came off here. Some of this might have been on the label if I wasn't careful. But I can do this with plastic cartridges. I can do this with vinyl cases, your GameCubes and your PS2 games. Just using an all-purpose cleaner is pretty great for any of that stuff. Are there any fumes to worry about with those cleaners? Good question. I would say Goo no. All-purpose cleaner, no. Isopropyl alcohol, no. Heptane, kind of. I'm not using enough of it to, really need to worry about it here. I'm in my basement right now, so there's certainly not a lot of airflow happening where I am right now. But in theory, I think I'm supposed to tell you, yeah, make sure you ventilate your space if you're using heptane. I think that's what I would be legally required to tell you, but no, I mean, it's probably fine. It's not like you're giving it a big bath or anything. I am using my gloves too, which is again not required. I've done these cleaning streams without gloves on, but once I start getting into heptane, that stuff can be a little rougher on your skin, so sometimes I will put gloves on for that. On the other hand, wearing the gloves kind of just feels like it's like a uniform. It's like the official uniform of game cleaning stream. So I'm going to take this heptane and just kind of hit up some of these little areas, like these little dots that are still here, and see if I can get some of that goo off there. Just do some spot cleaning with that heptane. Careful not to get too close to the labels. Oh yeah, that's much better. Any other spots I need to hit? Maybe on the back? Pretty good. I'm going to kind of go over where that Goo was, just to double it up a little bit. Or maybe remove the Goo perhaps. Oh, there we go, on the bottom. That's got some gross sparks on it. Go. All right, how are we looking? Looking pretty good, I'd say. Much better than it was before. Now, we still have to get the inside contacts, but I would say, you know, just looking at the outside of this plastic, this cartridge looks pretty okay. It looks pretty good, considering especially where it started. Pretty good. Okay, let's get another Q-tip. Let's get it real soaked in that isopropyl alcohol. We're going to start going on that cartridge. Hopefully we don't have to cut inside it. And by cut, I mean just, you know, unscrew the screws with the special screwdriver. Hopefully we can just get it with just this, but it may take a few of these Q-tips. I'm guessing this guy's going to be pretty bad. In theory, I'll want to keep doing this action where I have a alcohol-soaked Q-tip and rubbing it on the contacts. I'll probably want to keep doing this until I stop getting color off of the Q-tip. So right now, yeah, you can definitely see some gross browns. There we go. Some gross browns. I'm picking up all that off these contacts. And if I hadn't cleaned that, I also would have been putting all of that inside my Nintendo 64, which is not good. And then certainly your Nintendo 64 doesn't work as well because you kept putting this garbage inside it. So I expect this should take at least 2 full Q-tips, front and back side of a Q-tip, before I feel confident that this is clean enough. Just because, yeah, this one was pretty brown when I started. Yeah, still getting quite a lot of color there. Gross. Gross. I'm gonna run out of Q-tips on this stream. How many more cartridges do I... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I might have to put up a be right back to go get more Q-tips. I have some more upstairs. But I am downstairs. Alas! Cleaning streams are both satisfying to watch and also terrifying to see how much gunk is hiding. Yeah, I mean, I don't think most people's own collection looks this bad. I think it's because I'm buying used games that have, you know, switched hands many times that, you know, it's not the hours this has been in a Nintendo 64, it's all the hours it's been outside of a Nintendo 64 and where do they keep their games. And, you know, were these just stuck in a cardboard box in a garage? Were these on a bookshelf being taken care of? Or were these, like, on the floor? Were these slobbered on by a child at some point? Like, could be anything. Still getting a little bit of color off here. So even though I've now used 4 sides, I might take one more Q-tip to this, just to make sure we've done the best we can to get everything off of here. Yeah, that's still gross. Hopefully this is our last one. I mean, our last time for this game that we have to use. Better. It's looking better. Got just a tiny bit of gray on here, but otherwise this one came out much better than the other ones. So I'm going to flip this cartridge over so I can kind of get a different amount of pressure on it and kind of hit it from different angles. Ugh, yeah, I found some corner of grossness on there, but good enough, I think. I'm gonna say good enough. Well, I guess I got one more. I got one more corner. Let's use one more end, just to make sure we're feeling good about this. Thinking of all the games you bought off eBay over the years and how much nastiness might be hiding on them. Yup. eBay is usually pretty gross. Unless they say, like, I'd clean these contacts for you before they sell them. Yeah, those are usually gross. And that's usually where most of my pickups come from these days, is eBay. I don't have a ton of great Columbus-based retro stores near me. There's one. Warp Zone is really good. The problem is just all the prices are higher than they would be on eBay. And if I'm going to buy this many games every time, if I can save 15, 20% on games, it just means I can buy 15 or 20% more games. That's what I think. All right. Still gross, but I'm going to say that's good enough. So I don't have a way of testing that yet. On stream, that is. But soon I will. I did just get a new PC. First PC I've bought in... Hang on, this math's gonna hurt. 15 years. I haven't bought a PC in 15 years. So I finally did that. I've been looking to buy one since easily Christmas. And I finally put all the pieces together, got all the components, took it to a Micro Center near me so I could have an expert build it instead of myself building it. Brought it home this week. So I soon will have streams in the other room. Oh, looks like I got another big drop frame blast. Are we back? Are we good? Coming back. There we go. Sorry about that. But yeah, soon I'll have a new PC with better streaming capabilities. Also a better Wi-Fi antenna on it. So I think my signal should be better. I'm a little bit closer to the Wi-Fi in my house as well, so should be much better. Okay, so once I got San Francisco Rush 2 at QuarksCon, the next game I still didn't have San Francisco Rush 1. So we picked this up off eBay, and this one is going to be probably just like it. However, this one does have some of our good favorite fan permanent marker on the back. So we'll see what we can do with that. We're going to need a paper towel, and we're going to need an Expo marker. See what we can get off here. So let's start with the permanent marker, and then we'll do like an overall cleaning afterward. Audio and video seem unsynced, but it could just be my phone. Nah, I think it's me. I'm having some bad Wi-Fi issues on my end. I could hit stop and resume real fast. That might reset the stream. Might help a little bit. I think I'm going to do that. So yeah, I'll be right back. I'm just going to hit stop streaming and then restart streaming and see if that fixes anything. So be right back.